What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I'm here today with the review for Love After Lockup Season 4, Episode 33. I forgot the title of this episode. I think it's Sex, Love, and something else. It'll be on the screen, whatever the title of this episode is. I literally forgot to put it in my notes. I think that's what it is. Something, it has sex in it. I forgot what the hell it all is, but before we go ahead and get into the review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and aren't subscribed to the channel, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love After Lockup. I might have said Love During Lockup, but it's Love After Lockup. Shall we? All right, you guys, so I want to start up with the two couples who I don't know how I feel about them. Let's just start up with the one that's the weirdest one of all of them, Ashley and Travis. At this point, we're only, 3 episodes into this show, and I'm already over Ashley. She seems like a nice enough woman, but she also seems like a woman that is troubled with something. I don't know if it's depression. I don't know if it's desperation. I don't know if it's a mixture of the two, but there's absolutely 1000% something wrong with Ashley. Because every time we see Ashley, she's fucking crying. Like, Ashley is crying every single time we see the woman, right? So we see her in the episode, and she and Travis, they're in the car, and he doesn't know how to phone words, which I'm not surprised about because he hasn't even been in jail for 13 years. So yeah. So they're talking, and so Ashley's story is very reminiscent of Angela and Tony's story. Because you guys remember when Angela and Tony were on, Angela's friend, I forgot what his name was. Remember, Tony did not like her friend at all. But the same situation is with Travis. Now, Angela didn't break off her friendship with her friend. Ashley, however, is going to just throw away her friendship with her friend. I was like, what a dummy. So you gonna throw away your friendship for Travis? A man, let's just be real with each other. With Travis, I don't really get good vibes from Travis, right? I get that Travis, from me, Travis gives that he's a con artist. He gives me that he's a grifter. He gives me that he is going to use up Ashley as much as he can. And once he's gotten all that he needs from her, he's going to leave her high and dry and destitute as well, right? But they went back to the hotel room that they're staying at, and they had sex. The next morning, why was she talking to the producers? And oh my God, can somebody get this woman some antidepressants? I don't know if I think it's a mixture of desperation and depression, because she cries too fucking much for me, right? So they went back to her home. He loves her house. I was like, you don't realize that this man is a little anxious and happy? I get that he's happy to be out of jail, but he's very, very happy to be in your house. Your house that you paid for, I don't know, and that you furnished. And he ain't done a lick of shit. Girl, you look stupid, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. Let's pause here and move on to the next couple. The next couple, you guys, is one that I just have to say I'm a little bit afraid for. Skylar and Nathan. I'm afraid for Nathan because I'm not saying that, one time it could be an accident, but 2 times, that sounds like a bit of a coincidence, right? That two of her ex-boyfriends are no longer among the living, and they both died the same exact way. That's a little troubling to me. And I wouldn't want to be with nobody like that. I'm not saying that people can't change, but that is just unnerving to me. No, we good. We're Gucci. Like, I don't know if I want to be with somebody like that. So Nathan has two aunts, one aunt named Tara and one aunt named I forgot what the other's name was. So he and one of them is his mom's sister and one of them is his dad's sister, right? So the one that is his mom's sister is the one he's gotten into it with because she doesn't agree with this relationship and she doesn't agree with the relationship because of her past. Now, like I just said a minute ago, can people change? Absolutely. But like I said, also, it's coincidental that both of her ex-boyfriends died in the same way. You don't find that kind of creepy? And she doesn't want him to be number three, and I don't blame her. Now that dad's sister, she was just like, we just gotta let him do what he gonna do. I was like, do you know how her boyfriends are unlived? And you want to put your nephew in harm's way? Now I get it, he's a grown ass man, but girl, you can also tell him I don't think that that's a wise decision to make. But you know what? It is what it is. No. Now what blew me with Nathan was he told his aunt that is his mother's sister that raised him that not to disrespect Skylar. And when she came to the house, I was thinking the same thing she said before she even said it. Because I said it to myself when he was reading that text, when I saw that text message. I was like, so you telling your aunt not to disrespect your girlfriend, but you're disrespecting your aunt. You're disrespecting your family over somebody that granted, y'all been in a relationship with each other for a minute, but I'm not going to disrespect my family over somebody. Hell no, that's just crazy, right? So Nathan, he's getting ready to go pick up Skylar, and we find out from Nathan that Skylar had previously gotten out of jail and that, she was in a halfway house. So he went to go see her at the halfway house. She was supposed to be going out for the day to look for jobs, and they got into it. They lost track of time, and she was laid back to the halfway house. And with her being laid back to the halfway house, they threw her ass right back in prison. So he's meeting up with her mom and her brother. Her mom is just a little bit apprehensive because of his history as well. I'm like, girl, you worried about him. I'm worried about your daughter. Your daughter is the one that gives me a little bit of pause, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. I want you guys to tell me in the comments section what you guys think about it. And we're gonna pause here and move on to the next couple, you guys. The next couple, let's just talk about Justine and Michael real quick, you guys. So I just wanna know whose idea was it for Justine and Michael to have the matching sweatsuits together, the sweatpants and sweatshirt. It was cute, but it was kind of on a childish side, just a tad bit. Just had that question, whose idea was it? It's given that it was Justine's idea, but it could have been Michael's idea. You never know. I do want to say that with Justine and Michael, I actually do like them a lot. I really do, and I want, and this is the first time I've said it for any couple on this show, I want this relationship to last. Like, I want this to be a real deal relationship because I actually am invested in Michael and Justine. I ain't invested in them enough to see them on Love After. So Love During Lockup, Love After Lockup, Life After. I'm not that invested to see them on that show, but I know we're going to see them. But I actually really like these two, right? So what they're doing is they're getting ready so they can go see Michael's family. So Michael's going to see his mom, his sisters, and his kids, right? So they go and get ready to get in the car, and Michael is talking to his homeboy named Mocha. So I guess Mocha and Michael, Mocha helps Michael with his music. So he wants to meet up with Mocha and discuss some business. I can actually understand Justine, and I can kind of see both sides, but I'm more so leaning toward Justine in this situation. I get it. Michael just got out of prison. Michael wants to link up with his boy, shoot the shit about music, right, and talk about that and try to get back into this music game, right? I get that because that is his legal way of making money, because we still don't know how he got this car. I don't really care how he got the car, but the music is, now let's be real. The music really isn't, I'm not counting Michael's money, so I don't want nobody to think, oh, JB, you're counting his money. I'm not counting his money, but I actually when I just said something, I thought about something when it comes to the music. artists don't really make money from the music. Artists make money from merchandise and touring. That's like the labels, because I know Michael might not be under a label, but the label makes the money from the album sales, and then they give the artist a residual of that. But even with independent artists, they don't make that much money. Like, people make money from selling out arenas because that money then goes into their pocket. That is money that, because they are the ones that are booking those shows. Now I know like the venue gets a little bit of a chunk of that. If there was a promoter involved, they get some of that. But the artist makes the money when they go on the road and go do shows. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not counting his money. I'm just stating the obvious. So, when Michael told Justine about Mocha, she was not happy about that. And like I said, I do understand why she wasn't happy, because this is a moment for the family. But in the same token, yes, Michael and Mocha do business together, but Michael also may look at Mocha like a brother to him, right? He looks at him as family, so why not? And then when we saw Mocha show up, Michael's mom was happy to see him, so obviously they look at Mocha as family. He's not just somebody that works with Michael with the music. Mocha is family. Now, when they did see his family, it was a rather sweet scene, you guys, especially when his kids ran up to him. And I think his one son said, I missed you a lot. I was like, oh, even though missed it is not a word. So sweet. His daughter, it was a sweet scene, you guys. And like I said, with Michael and Justine, I do like them. I hope that Michael stays on the straight and narrow and doesn't get his ass back in trouble, because unfortunately, when it comes to people who go to prison and they get out, we see it with this show a lot. People get out of prison, say they're not going to go back. They do something that gets them sent right back to prison. And I hope that is not the case for you, Michael. Don't go back to prison, buddy. Really like you. I really like you. And I don't really like too many people on this show. Very strange. Let's pause here and move forward, you guys. Next up, you guys, let's talk about Gabby and Chris. I want to point something out before I talk about Gabby and Chris, right? So OMFG Reality posted a video of Gabby on Instagram this past week. And I just made the comment of Gabby got her teeth done with a question mark, right? And then I also put out that I hope that Gabby goes after whoever did her, goes back for trying to get her $30,000, because whoever did her body did her wrong. So then a lot of people were saying that Gabby didn't get her teeth done, that Gabby had to get, Gabby didn't get her teeth done. What happened is somebody said that Chris, which I didn't see the video in its entirety, but I know people said that Chris and Gabby had a domestic violence situation, right? And I guess he messed up her teeth, so she had to get her teeth done because of what Chris had did to her. Flavor Flav's son abused Gabby. Girl. So then some girl come up behind my comment, and she was like, you look wrong. And I said, I look wrong? And she was like, have you looked in the mirror? I'm like, I look in the mirror. She's like, have you looked in the mirror and you coming at a female's looks? I never said anything about Gabby's looks. My comment, and that's why, I had to say, LOL. I'm coming at a woman's looks saying she needs to go back and get her money. Gabby needs to go get her money because everything about Gabby looks botched. Now, that is me coming at her body, but I'm saying that in a constructive way, because her lips, I don't know what's wrong with her lips. They don't look like they're settled. They don't look, her lips just look a little weird. And her butt, like Gabby was cute last season. There was nothing wrong with Gabby. I didn't find anything wrong with Gabby. The only thing about Gabby that I found wrong was that she's rude and hella disrespectful. That was my only grievance with Gabby. So that was that. So now this episode, child, when Chris told her he got a lot of nut for her, I said, oh, Chris is the last person Oof. Oof. That is a face only a mother could love, is all I gotta say. Because Chris is facially challenged. And then them teeth. So Chris told his mom and sister about them getting married. His sister was like, oh, okay, whatever. So he tells them he don't want no beef with them and Gabby. And they're like, it ain't no beef with us and Gabby. But he then tells them that he's gonna be paroling to Jersey, right? So as they're getting ready to drive to the halfway house, Gabby tells Chris that she got her vagina rejuvenated. He wasn't too happy to hear about that. Just the thought of her and Chris having sex is just repulsing. So they pulled over and I believe they had sex. Gabby, girl, you ain't got no kind of self-respect, huh? Okay. So then we see Gabby and she went to go see her mom and she told her mom about Chris. Her mama was pissed off. And she told her that they were married. She's like, girl, get an annulment. I was like, ooh, at least mama don't see it for Chris. And then the fact that Gabby and her mama said that Chris cheated on her when he was in prison. I said, Chris, Flavor Flav's son, cheated on Gabby. Okay. Again, Gabby ain't my favorite person, but girl, the fuck? That thing, shut up. Let's pause here and move forward. All right, you guys, so let's wrap up with Monique and Derek, you guys. So with Monique and Derek scene, I got issues with each and every person in this scene. So it's not just one person that I have an issue with, it was everybody. So you guys remember the last episode that Monique and her sister Calandra, whatever the hell her name is. Sorry, sis, if I'm butchering your name. They pulled up to the prison, right? And they kept seeing that white SUV drive up and down. I told you guys in last week's episode that is his family, and it was his family, right? So because I saw a lot of people making some transphobic jokes on Twitter the other night, and I didn't think it was cool. But I also don't agree with what his sister. So he has two sisters. One of them happens to be a trans woman, and he has two brothers. Now I saw a lot of people talking about, kept calling his sister. Her name is Elizabeth. They kept calling Elizabeth Eric. Y'all, like, that is the most. Now, granted, was Elizabeth disrespectful to Monique? Absolutely. But let's get there, right? So they knew that it was his family, right? So Monique didn't want to go talk to the family, and I don't understand why. And I'm gonna touch on Monique in just a minute, right? Actually, let's touch on Monique real quick. Let's just touch on Monique very quickly, right? Because remember, in last week's episode, Monique was like that. Derek said his family never came to visit him. Monique, you never went to visit him. This is your first time seeing him. So how are you upset with his family because they never saw him? But you've been with him for how long? And this is your first time ever meeting him in person. So yeah, shut up, please. Like, that shit pissed me off. So her sister went to go check the temperature. I was like, why would you go over there? She went over there and asked them, like, why did y'all come here? And this is just supposed to be for Monique. First of all, those are his sisters and his brothers. If they want to be there to greet their brother when he gets out of prison, who are you to tell them what the fuck to do? Sit your ass down and shut the fuck up. Have Monique come her motherfucking ass over there and address them. What Monique could have done was, because I'm gonna match the energy. Y'all didn't match their energy. Those girls got out of the car and they didn't say anything to you, Calandra, and you just gonna come at them talking about why y'all here. Again, that's their fucking brother. Like, how would you feel if the roles were reversed and Monique was in prison and her boyfriend pulls up and he comes over and say, hey, what you doing here? Like, I'm supposed to be here to meet my girl, and why you here? Nigga, that's my sister. What are you talking about? So I didn't appreciate her for that. Now, Elizabeth, I didn't appreciate you when you attacked Monique's way, talking about her big ass. Is she a big girl? Yes. Does she know she's a big girl? Yes. Now, I'm defending you. I defended you because I didn't like people do with the trans jokes, but I don't like you with the fat phobic jokes. Like, I don't like transphobic jokes. I don't like homophobic jokes. I don't like, racist jokes. I don't like transphobic, homophobic, racist, xenophobic, any of that. Misogynistic, none of those jokes. I don't like them. Now, what I do have a question about is how in the hell. So the sister Elizabeth posted a picture of Monique on her Facebook. How did Monique's sister then know what she posted? Like, I was so confused how that happened, but hey, it ain't got nothing to do with me. So Monique and her sister eventually left, but they came back. Derek came out and, he saw his sister's brother and Monique, right? So he knew Monique was a big, which I kind of figured he knew Monique was a big girl, but the way that the editing was, because I know somebody left it in the comment section and said, I don't think that Monique was catfishing him. I didn't think that she was catfishing him either, but it just was how WeTV was editing the show. And I think I saw where Monique actually got mad about that last week on Instagram because she said that they were playing it like she was catfishing. That's why I have been feeling that way for the last 2 weeks, because it's the way that WeTV had been editing the episode. That's one of my issues when it comes to WeTV, how they edit things. Like I was talking about Love during Lockup, how they edit Chelsea. I didn't like that. And I kind of figured that's what they were doing with Monique. I kind of figured they were leading us to believe that she was catfishing him. But I remembered in episode, that's why I was confused. Because in the first episode when we met her, they were leading us because she kept talking about what kind of pictures she would send him. The breast, the ass, and the vagina and stuff, right? And then I remembered, but she went to go talk about weight loss surgery, and he was on the phone, so he knows she's a big girl. He says that she is bigger than what he expected, but he don't have an issue with it. And I'm inclined to believe that I believe him, right? Now, what did throw me when we first saw him is I'm like, the fact that he's so skinny and the fact that he's shorter than Monique, I was like, okay, cool, right? So again, his sisters kept playing on the fact that she's a big girl and they feel like, he's judgmental. I was like, okay, I don't really care, right? So they go for him to get his hair done because he said he hadn't washed his hair in about a year. I was like, ooh, I know that shit was filthy. Now, Monique lost me when she said, I guess they're supposed to move together. And she says when they do move together, she's gonna make it so that he doesn't have to get to see his sisters. I'm like, Monique, stay out of that. Ain't got nothing to do with you like that. That is my issue with Monique. Monique is controlling. And I think for me, when it comes to Monique, I think her controlling side is just it comes from some insecurities. Because remember, she was gonna put the cameras in his grandmother's house. Now you want to keep him away from his family? That's gonna drive a wedge between you and him. Now, I know that they're currently still together, but that will drive a wedge between you if you try to keep him away from his family, right? So Monique is going to be staying I think they're in Ohio for another 2 weeks, and then she's going to go home. Her sister doesn't really feel comfortable leaving her because she doesn't have anybody down there. And that is the end of the episode and the review, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications. Share the video. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.